Hi, welcome back to Security Pacific's New Age Agent Training Seminars. This is our sixth training, and today we're going to go over a little bit about FHA, VA, probate, and REO sales and their financing. FHA and VA are going to be a little bit different than a normal purchase, and this is going to have to do with one, the amount that's put down, also some of the conditions that could be required by the lender to finance that property. An overview with FHA, it's going to be a different type of financing, and they're going to require conditions that relate to health and safety of the property. If you have a client that's using FHA financing, when you're looking for the homes, you're going to want to be a little more diligent in filtering what you are sending to your client, or being able to be accessible to respond to some of the conditions that they should be aware of when you're pursuing a property. So with the FHA, an appraiser is going to come out to the property and they're going to do their appraisal, but they're also going to look for any health and safety issues. And if they do find them, they're going to put them in conditions in their appraisal report. They might come back and justify the value to the lender that the property has this value, but there could be conditions, and that can be a wide range of conditions that they come back with. In my experience, the FHA appraisal, sometimes if the home was built before 1978 and there's exterior paint chipping, that could be something that's called out, or maybe they see a heater vent that they think is asbestos and they recommend, or they have that as a condition that needs to be fixed, or maybe there's a few broken windows. They're going to call out and make sure that those need to be taken care of before they can finance the property. So ultimately, not only are they going to be justifying the value, but they're going to be looking for any health and safety issues that they see. And if they call them out, they're going to be required to be taken care of. There's plenty of options and solutions to try to still make that work. But ultimately, you can save a lot of time. If you are looking with your clients and you're looking on the MLS, you look at the terms of what a listing agent's willing to accept, and a lot of times they're going to maybe put the cash in conventional, and they might also put VA or FHA. If they don't have FHA, it's still not necessarily a full-on deterrent. What I like to do is get on the phone and give the listing agent a call, tell them, hey, I have some clients that are interested in this property. They are using FHA financing. I'm working with a great lender. I just want to check in with you and see what are your thoughts. Would your seller consider an FHA offer based on the condition of the home? From your experience, does it look like that it would go FHA? And a lot of the times, if an agent hasn't put that on the MLS, I might say, you know what, I totally forgot to put it on. Home's in great shape. I don't think we'll have any problems. And if we do, if they're pretty minor, I think we can figure it out during the time that we're in contract to make it work for everybody. But maybe it's a complete fixture, and there's holes in the wall, and you can see there's leaks in the ceiling, and there's a lot of issues. Then your time can be better spent showing your client homes that are going to work for FHA financing, that are in better condition. But I think that's maybe the first thing to do is when you are looking at properties on the MLS, your client sends you ones that they're interested in, is first check on the MLS, see if they do accept FHA as the terms. And if they don't, call in that listing agent and having a conversation with them to see if it is an opportunity. If it's not, it's going to save you a whole bunch of time not having to show that property and not getting your client hopes. Real quick, if you go through that process and you do get into contract and you have an appraiser come out and they call out a few conditions, it's definitely not the end of the world. There are a lot of options and ways to get creative to negotiate with a listing agent and try to get those things taken care of, whether it's doing that exterior paint, getting a painter out there, scraping off that paint, doing it correctly, and putting up new paint, where then that appraiser can come back and sign off those conditions. Maybe a window's cracked, working a way for the window to get repaired. Definitely not the end of the world, but it is worth your time to being aware of some of those conditions that could come up with FHA. Another great idea is speaking with your lender. I know Gary Betancourt has mentioned times in the past he's willing to actually go out and take a look at the property, give his personal and professional opinion on if there's going to be any FHA issues, and that can give a great indication to your clients and to you if it's worth pursuing. And also it shows that your clients, you're really being a great proponent and a great agent for them to take the time to do that work up front to see if it will work. Another one that we'll be working with are VA. I mean, veterans financing is one of the best options for financing for veterans of this country, where they're able to finance a property and put essentially 0% down. For VA, they're also going to have financing conditions specifically will be related to the termite pest report. Now, Section 1 is going to have to be taken care of. Sometimes Section 2 items are going to have to be taken care of. This is something you're going to want to get to the lender as soon as possible, so they're able to review the termite pest inspection report and see what conditions need to be taken care of. Now, although VA financing, they say 0% down, there's still closing costs, and there's also your client's going to have to put up earnest money deposit. A lot of times, veteran financing, they might not have a whole bunch of money to put the full 2.5% or 3% of the earnest money deposit that's expected in most of the listings. But being a veteran, writing a love letter to the seller, letting them know that you served and you're a veteran and you love their home. A lot of the times, a listing agent is going to present that to their client and let them know that veteran financing is still very strong. And then also to the seller, where a lot of the times they're going to want to work with a veteran to make that happen, make those dreams come true. Having a conversation with the lender, whenever you have a client that's pre-approved with VA financing, you want to have a conversation with them, get an idea of the timelines that they're working with, their accessibility, and then also ultimately get an idea of some of the conditions that they might be calling out, what they're looking for. Maybe they can give you up front, no, we're only concerned with Section 1, or you know what, we're going to look at also Section 2 and see what's kind of looking like, so you kind of have reasonable expectations of what needs to be done. This is also going to help you on the front end. If you are looking at homes and you see in the terms there's it's good for VA financing, or maybe it's not, you're able to call a listing agent and see kind of where they're at, what they're willing to work with. And I've done transactions where there's been termite for Section 1 and Section 2, over $10,000, where the seller has been able to actually do the repairs and still make the VA financing work. But you are really going to want to have a conversation with the lender. If there is a termite pest inspection, getting that up to them as quick as possible, where they're able to review and then really kind of give you an idea of what needs to be done so that you can make it happen and close the transaction. Another way to do it too is putting in the contract. You have 6 as other terms. You can put something to the some of the example of seller to clear all required Section 1, Section 2 conditions of termite inspection. If they have one, you can cite that report and date, or if you don't, something to the effect of seller to clear all required conditions for Section 1, 2 of termite inspection. Being aware of what needs to be done, and doing kind of that upfront work and get an idea from a lender, or if you do have that report, getting it to them so they can review. It's going to help you make that offer, manage expectations, and if you are in contract, manage what needs to get done and the cost to that. Having the lender speak with your client, going over closing costs, what that's going to look like, because you might have somebody that heard that VA financing, they're thinking they're going into property and they're putting 0 down, which is not the case. So having them have a conversation with the lender, getting very familiar what's the closing cost going to look like, that there is going to be an earnest money deposit put up, and there could be conditions based on a termite report that you're going to manage with the listing agent to make that work for everybody. You got the FHA, you got the VA, both incredible options for your clients to work with. We also see probate sales that come up. Carolyn Dopp is an incredible resource at our company to speak to. She knows probates in and out. Personally done one with her and gotten advice from her on others. But probate's going to be a little bit different. What you're going to look for is on the listing, if it requires a court confirmation or it doesn't require a court confirmation. You're going to want to speak with the listing agent, make sure that all their ducks are in a row, and what information they're giving you is true information. Probates usually require about a 10% earnest money down, and then a lot of times if it's a court required confirmation, ultimately there's going to be a court date to sell that property at the county courthouse. So in Contra Costa, you're going to be going out to Martinez, and this is going to be where a judge is going to confirm the sale of the property and actually open it up to bids from other prospective buyers. I say this because if you do get in contract on a probate and it does require court confirmation, and you start doing all the work, your clients put up the earnest money, you do inspections, you're going through that whole process, and then you need to go to court, and that could be months out. You show up at court, and then there's a cash investor or a few cash investors, and the judge opens it up, and your clients weren't aware of this, and all of a sudden a cash investor comes in and overbids, and your client comes up. You lose that property, right? And I would assume your clients aren't going to be too happy with you, or the whole process might not even work with you again if they don't have that information up front. Even if it says it doesn't require a court confirmation. In my own experience, I've gotten into contract on that, and it turns out that when we got further along, they had made a mistake and it didn't require court confirmation. I would highly suggest if you are interested in a probate, giving Carolyn a call or an email, maybe you're inviting her out to coffee, and get a little more information on how they work. But it's an incredible process that I urge you not to be afraid of. You're definitely going to learn a whole lot of information about the process. You'll learn as you go. And it's also an incredible opportunity for clients and investors that you work with, where they're able to get a possible property below market value, but it is a little more complicated. There are more hurdles. It does take longer time. Nothing to be scared of, and just add to your repertoire and your skill set and being versed in probate sales. Feel free to call myself or Jack, or if it's more in the process where you're ready to make an offer, give Carolyn a call, and I know she'll be happy to help. Last one that I know we're getting a lot of is the REOs, which is I know Zillow is putting them out, and a lot of clients are asking about pre-foreclosures and all this stuff. REO is a real estate owned property, so it's going to be bank owned property. And a lot of the times when you're pursuing these properties, they're going to have a different contract in addition to our California Association of Realtors contract, and there's specific instructions that you go through. What's great about them is there's Fannie Mae Home Path, and also HUD Gov, which Security Pacific is a member to, allows you access to REOs and to make offers on those properties. Some of those offer programs for first-time home buyers or home buyers. If they take an educational course, there'll be incentives where the seller will credit maybe a 3% up to a 3% closing cost credit, which you might be able to get the property a little bit below market value, and then also you're saving your client 3% of closing costs that they'll take care of. But definitely don't shy away from REOs. You'll see some of them on the MLS. You might see it through the portal of Fannie Mae Home Path, which is a great opportunity to get your client's property. Or you also see maybe opportunities if you look on HUD.gov, seeing properties that you can bid on. Another kind of cool thing on that is sometimes you'll see properties on there where it's giving actual homeowner occupants first opportunity. They might do a stipulation of up to the first 15 days, only homeowner occupants can bid on the property, where then it takes out the pool of investors looking maybe to rent the property or do rehabs to it. And that helps your clients get in. But also great opportunity to learn a lot more of it if you do see an REO or a home path feel free to give me a call. John Ford is also a great resource. He's done an incredible amount of REOs, or Jack as well, and we'd be happy to help you. So that's it for the financing of the FHA, the VA, probates, and REOs. Really appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out this seminar. As always, call myself or Jack if you want to get into more details or need any more help. We look forward to seeing you on your the next training session. Thank you.